Jesus. Ben and I went hunting up in North Texas. He's recording with the Psionics day-night camera. We've got nearly a full moon out. We've spotted hogs out in this field, and we've made a pretty good approach on them so far, but they keep moving away from us. They're way out there at about 190 yards. They started over here off to the right and moved off to the left. And we're trying to figure out how to get across the open field without spooking them, and during that time, most of the hogs managed to move across the fence line onto the other side. However, this one sow did come back. Ben's using the Bering Optics Hogster-R thermal weapon sight. Ben is lined up on the left, and I'm lined up on the right-hand side, and I'm using Trijicon IR Hunter Mark III. The winds are in our favor at this point. We're just getting lined up on the hog, deciding what we want to do.
Yeah. Are you ready? Are you taking front or back?
Ben is going to take the primary shot into the shoulder, and I'm going to get the opportunity for doing ammo testing of shooting into a non-traditional spot. I'm going to try to hit the spine further back on the hog.
I'll take front, you take back. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
2 shots and 2 hits, and the hog goes right down. I often get asked how we determine the distance on how far we shoot. I use an app on my phone. It's a distance application where we can get the GPS coordinates for where we shot from, go over to where the hog is down, mark that, and it'll give us the distance. The sow turned out to be a 185-pound sow. And since we want to take a look at the shot results, we decided to pack her up and take her back for later necropsy. As I get older, lifting up hogs becomes more and more of a problem, and I've discovered mechanical advantage definitely helps out. There it is.
Nicely done. Carpe sus.
Carpe sus, my friends. Well, we moved on to our next property. Found hogs way out there in the distance behind the cattle. I think they're about 350 yards away at this point.
Jesus.
Once we got to within about 100 yards of the cattle, they took notice. And as we tried to move it into position so that we didn't have houses in the background in order to fire, the cattle moved with us. If we moved left, they moved left. If we moved right, they moved right, eventually chasing the pigs over the horizon. So we were left with the one sow.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
And we took her back to my place for necropsy work, and this is going to get pretty graphic. For those of you that are squeamish, turn away now. The way that we open up hogs usually is doing a space shuttle cut or an H cut. Splitting along the back of the midline, and then down each of the sides, forward of the legs and behind. And then opening it up like the space shuttle cargo doors. This often does a really good job of revealing entry and exit wounds.
A little bit trouble finding the entry wound on this shot.
Here's my entry wound through the abdominal wall.
That is almost a quarter size.
Okay.
Here we were looking for where Ben's shot entered. There was no external bleeding, so we're not exactly sure of where that is.
It was a little left to where I was aiming.
But that's...
It would have been coming in from the... What'd you find?
Let's see.
More stuff?
It's probably bone. Yeah, bone. But... Okay, so here we go. You hit the humerus. Right here, and sheared the humerus off, and it went in underneath below the scapula. Does that make sense?
Yep. So the shot was low.
Yeah. Here's the hole right here. It went through.
Yeah, that's about where I was aiming, a little low.
It broke 2 ribs. And after it blasted through the humerus, all those bone shards went into here, making a huge hole.
One way that I found to get the best look at the internal organs is to be able to pull off the whole rib plate, and I do that using diagonal cutters that I get from Harbor Freight. It's actually a very inexpensive solution to handle a tough problem. And after I get rid of some of the additional soft tissue, watch what happens. There it is, the inside of the thoracic cavity.
So we have liquefied lung tissue.
Looks intact.
Heart looks good.
Okay.
So you hit blood vessels in front of the heart. That's
So
my exit wound.
this is the offside, yeah.
So I've got about a 3-inch hole in the abdominal wall and just about a finger diameter hole exiting out of the skin.
Is it a level? No, it doesn't be. Levels.
And here we're trying to move forward to find what happened to Ben's bullet.
Oh, it's right here.
I'm coming in. Okay. Cool. It's tiny.
But wait, there's more. Little piece of jacket. And that is it for that.
In looking at the performance of Ben's 243 Browning BXR 97 grain ammo, it impacted the hog at about 2,800 feet per second, entered the left shoulder, shattered the humerus, going through 2 ribs with bone shards into the thoracic cavity, severed blood vessels, heavily damaged the lungs, broke 1 rib exiting the thoracic cavity, and stopped under the skin. And looking at my custom reloads of Dallas Speer Gold Dot 120 grain ammo, it impacted at about 2,330 feet per second, entered the left abdomen with about a 1-inch hole through the abdominal wall, did hit the spine, clipping the lumbar vertebra centrum, exited the abdominal wall with about a 3-inch hole, and a finger-sized exit through the skin. Carpe sus, my friends.